Save the Semantics, episode 143. It is May 23rd, 2021. My name is Myro. This is the podcast where I ramble on for about 20 minutes. About shit. Just about whatever the fuck I want. Usually it just kind of devolves into same old, but I try to do this on a consistent basis, which I haven't. As of late, it's been about 3 weeks since I last recorded, so I have not been keeping my word on that. So we're gonna try again. And to do these more consistently, more frequently. So yeah, it's been a minute. Per usual, not too much has really happened that's been super crazy, but I just want to do this as something to kind of keep things at bay, if you will. This last week, it's been a lot of I was gonna say a lot of ups and downs, but it's mostly been downs. I'm not gonna lie. It was particularly bad, like, toward the beginning and middle of the week. Like, I was just kind of going through it. Like, it's hard to even really describe. Like, I guess just, like, my anxiety kind of kicked into, like, gear for some reason, and I was just feeling super anxious and just kind of, I don't know, I just was not feeling good, like, last week or this past week. So I don't know. It was really shitty. And I'm feeling a lot better now, at this moment, but it was just like, it's for me, in terms of, like, my mental health and stuff, like, it like those moments, it definitely comes in waves for sure. I don't even really know what kind of, I don't know, triggered that sort of, I don't even know if I would really call it an episode, but that period of time where I was just kind of feeling down and feeling like shit. But I don't know, I think it's just like, I don't think it's, I can't really pinpoint it to exactly one specific reason. It's most likely, as it usually is, just like a bunch of reasons just kind of building up and then just kind of reaching a point where I'm like, fuck, what am I doing? Where do I go? And just like, just these feelings of just your fears and insecurities and all that just kind of reach like a boiling point. That's usually kind of what happens, at least. What I can recall from recent memory. So yeah, it was kind of rough. I'm not gonna lie. It was a bit of a rough patch this past week. But I'm feeling a lot better today. I got my second dose on Friday, which I'm very happy and grateful for. The side effects weren't super great. I was feeling pretty drowsy and kind of sluggish, and I had like a headache and it was pretty sore all around yesterday, and a little bit on Friday. Yesterday was kind of the worst of it, but I feel a lot better today. So I decided to go out today, and I don't know. I haven't really been doing anything crazy. This is gonna be an interesting kind of period right now. And I'm sure I've made note of it or I've talked about it before, but just, things are looking up with everything. Everyone's getting vaccinated and things are opening back up. I was able to see friends for the first time in a while. I think I might have mentioned that a while back, but and hopefully I'll be able to see more friends within the next few weeks or whenever. But with that comes a lot of like the same or similar types of things that I've been going through for the last couple of years, I would say, where I'm just sort of, I don't know, it's hard to pinpoint exactly like what the fuck I'm so worried about, and it's like, why am I so hung up on certain things when it's like things are, I feel like things are going well for me in a lot of ways. And this is, I had the same type of feeling when I was in school. Like I was doing well in my classes. I was doing, I was, I felt like I was doing well and accomplishing the things that I wanted to accomplish. But I just still felt something was kind of off. You know what I mean? And there was just kind of certain things that I just felt like I was missing and shit. Like, I don't know. I think it comes from me. I don't know about a lot of it, but some of it comes from me comparing myself, which this is another thing that I've talked about before, but comparing myself to other people and things that they're doing at the current, point in their lives, in comparison to mine, where I feel like I'm not doing as much, if that makes any sense. And it's so unnecessary, and I'm still, despite all of this time that has passed, I still have those same types of just kind of insecurities and shit, and I just like I still need to work on just not doing that. It's not healthy. It's not it's shitty. I don't really it doesn't accomplish anything, you know what I mean? So I just, that's something that I want to keep working on, is just like not doing those, not falling into those habits, those pitfalls, and then kind of being stuck in my own head of those sort of things, Yeah, I don't know. It's just like I really shouldn't be feeling so shitty when a lot of the things that I've been wanting to accomplish I have accomplished, but it's like, but I want more, in a sense, I want more things out of my life, and it's like, well, just take it step by step, right? Like, why can't I just, I don't know, I feel impatient a lot of the time, and I just feel kind of like stuck a little bit. I don't know, I just, it's hard to explain these things without getting super detailed, and I don't really want to do that, to be completely honest. I don't want this to be a replacement for therapy or anything like that. I just kind of want to get my feelings across, without it being too descriptive. So yeah, just kind of, I don't know if it's growing pains or whatever, but it's a lot of things that I just want to work on, and I have to. Another thing is that I want to try to like get acclimated to, a social environment again. Like, I just like I went out to get lunch today, and that was good for the most part, but I was just like getting in my head, I'm like, there's like so many people now. Like, it's just like, fuck, man. I really gotta adjust back to that, I mean, it's just, it's all a matter of just time and persistence and just kind of me doing that on a more regular basis. But again, it's going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute for me to kind of get settled and feel more comfortable with just general, um, that kind of general environment, you know. Yeah, there's a lot to think about, and I feel like I'm not being super coherent right now. I'm also a little tired because I've just been kind of lounging around for the last couple of days after getting my second dose. Um, and I'm sort of, I don't know, I'm a little, I don't have a ton of energy right now. So yeah, it's a lot to like relay onto this after what's been, 3 weeks, but just wanted to kind of be honest with myself and just kind of talk about these things in a kind of a open manner, if that makes any sense. It's really nice out. Weather's pretty perfect at the moment, and I feel a lot more settled, than I kind of have been. I just I don't know. I'm sorry if I sound really lost right now. I just kind of I don't know. I just kind of hit a wall, to be completely honest. Um, so I'm just kind of trying to get through that. Um, I think I'm gonna pause for a bit, and then I'm gonna get back to this in a little bit. All right, I'm back. Just kind of had to step away for a bit. Um, yeah, I just go through periods of time where I just kind of am just like super down on myself. And I eventually, spring back up, but it's just shitty. It's just really shitty. I don't really recommend. I don't recommend it. Um, I think I think the best way for me to put it is just that I the way I kind of structure my day to day is pretty straightforward for the most part. I try to get stuff done, and I'd like to say that I, you know, at least during like the work week, I'm pretty productive and I get stuff done that I want to get done. But then afterwards, like in my downtime, that's kind of where I feel like these kinds of issues start to kind of creep in a little bit. Because then I'm like all in my head about like, okay, what am I going to do now? Like, can I relax for once? Can I just chill out and just like watch a show and not worry about shit? And I'd say for the most part I can, but sometimes it gets to a point where I'm just like, fuck, I can't do anything right now. It's like I can't sit and watch a show or anything. I can't play this game. And I'm just kind of sitting there and I'm just sort of like in my head. And it's like, fuck, dude, what do I do? Do I just like meditate? Do I like write shit down? And sometimes it kind of comes to that where I have to sort of actually kind of sit with myself and be like, okay, just gotta like, you don't have to force yourself to relax, but just kind of, sit with yourself a bit and go through your thoughts and kind of try to reason with them and figure out what's bothering you and everything. And that's kind of how I deal with it for the most part. And I'd say it works, but it's still shitty that I have to that I have to go through that. So yeah, that's kind of how I deal with whenever I have like sort of like an anxiety related issue, is I sort of, I try to sit down with it and then kind of regain some sort of consciousness and idea of where my head's at, and kind of and remind myself that what I'm thinking at the moment is not permanent. It's just a temporary state of being of where I'm at that particular moment, and what I'm thinking is not reflective of my character, you know what I mean? Like, this is sort of my thoughts are not who I am, and that sort of thing. So I just kind of have to trust my little process that I have at the moment, and it works, but it's still shitty. Anyways, I started watching Jujutsu Kaisen, a show I haven't watched for a minute. Well, I haven't really watched any show for a long time, so this is like the first one in a minute that I'm sort of getting back into, and it's entertaining for sure. I like all the characters; they're all pretty interesting. The story's intriguing. It's a little I don't know if unorthodox is the right word, but I think the main character is certainly a little, he's pretty eccentric and very different from other MCs and other shonen anime. So I think that kind of puts a bit of a spin on sort of the normal shonen characteristics. So that's been pretty entertaining to watch so far. I've also started playing YS8, which is a JRPG game in a pretty long-running series, which I didn't really know about until I kind of looked into it. It's similar. The gameplay, at least the combat, is kind of similar to sort of the Samurai Warriors games, or the other Tecmo games that they've been putting out a lot of. It's like Fire Emblem, Heroes, Hyrule Warriors, like those ones. Similar type of action RPG. I think that there's a little bit more going on with it. I like, it's very fluid. It's a lot of fun. The combat is a lot of fun. It's very fast paced. I like the ability of instantly being able to switch between characters. Like, that's super cool. And yeah, it's been fun. I like the other elements of the game. I've been enjoying too, just like kind of exploring areas and finding treasures and materials to build things, such as sort of like camping gear and all that. Story is, so far nothing crazy has happened yet, but it's definitely kind of, there's sort of this underlying mystery that hasn't really come to fruition yet, or hasn't been really fully brought up yet. So far, we've only been given some exposition about the basic story is that this ship with a bunch of passengers crash landed on this island, which is supposedly cursed, and there were a character that was on the ship, and we're all trying to kind of get off this island together. And there's something about this island that's kind of mysterious, and that hasn't really been fully brought up yet. And the only backstory we really get is from our main character's dreams about, this ritual and these servants of a tree or something like that. And just like any other RPG, there's like a world tree, I guess. This is actually, I was gonna say Ni no Kuni didn't have like a world tree, but Dragon Quest 11 had the world tree. Xenoblade 2 had the world tree. It's just it's funny. It's an interesting trope, but yeah. It's intriguing so far, and I've been playing that for a little bit now, and I've been enjoying it. First game in a minute where I've kind of committed to. I've been playing a lot of like Rocket League and Smash, just as sort of a side thing. Those I don't really count those as commitments, I would call. Just because they're not story based really, so just kind of fun little things that I do on the side. I also I played those while watching videos or listening to podcasts or that sort of thing. So those games are perfect for that kind of thing. But yeah, YS is a lot of fun so far, and I've been enjoying it. And there's other things that I've kind of wanted to get into as well. And I might talk about that on the next episode. But there's a new season of The Circle that is out, which is really the only reality show that I've thoroughly enjoyed. I watched the first season a little while back, and that was pretty fun. It's very I enjoy it because there's like actual strategy and shit involved, and I like sort of the social constructs that are in place within that particular reality show. You sort of have to befriend everyone, and you also have the ability to pretend that you're someone else through like catfishing and that sort of thing. So yeah, that's the first season was a lot of fun, and I watched a little bit of the there are different variations of it. Well, I mean, there's other countries circle. So there's like a French one, there's an English one. I think it was originally English, and then there's the American version. And then I started watching a little bit of the Brazilian one, which is pretty interesting. The way they played the game was different from how the Americans played it. So that was kind of a interesting difference. I didn't really finish it though. Maybe, but I was kind of spoiled on who the winner was. I was like, okay, whatever. But yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to watching the second season because it looks pretty fun, and I've heard that it's gets a lot more crazier than the first one. So that's something that I'll probably check out within the next week or so, if I'm willing to. And then outside of that, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if there's anything else that really catches my eye. If there's any music that comes out that's that I'm really into. And then maybe I'll talk about it. So yeah. I know this episode was a lot of me just kind of just throwing all my shit out, but cleaning out my closet, if you will, but that's just how it goes sometimes. This has been Save the Semantics, signing off.